Now, this is a grand final, guys. So much is on the line here. Winner takes $30K, loser takes $10K. It's $20,000 approximately in difference between these two. Now, let's look at the record for 2014 for PvP for Zest. 41-20. That's the most important record. Now, you want to look at his total records, like, yeah, he's a badass, but we already knew that, right? Let's take a closer look. That's over 66% win ratio. 41-20, pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's incredibly impressive. I want to take a look over at herO stats as well so we can compare them in a bit. But Zest, overall, a badass. Chisel toss, look at those tries. I'll say it again. And this guy's StarCraft skill also compares as well.
That it does.
They're the KT fans.
KT fans. Yeah, they're that fangirl leader for KT. She's brought her girls with her. And herO, don't be so shy about your computer.
Yeah, here's herO, also a badass. He's got some really good records, but if you go down and look at Protoss in 2014, his games versus Protoss there, he went 33-24. Not quite the same as Zest. Still a very good PvP player, though.
Significantly weaker, notably, in total. And I got to say, you know, this is definitely going to be an uphill battle for him. I think that's what most people are saying. I've talked to a lot of pro gamers. I actually met up with Fantasy and Sue last night. Was hanging out with them. They both feel like Zest could take it. They feel like he should, but it's the same sort of feeling as when KT played against SKT. A lot of people are saying maybe herO's going to pull an upset here. It really could happen.
Yeah, it definitely can, man.
All right, guys, let's get into it. Right here, right now.
KT 로스터 Zest 주성우 vs CJ Entus herO 김준호.
Down here in the bottom right in the red for KT Rollster, he is Zest.
Some Zest fans. Zest, comma, best. Over at the top left in the blue. It's herO.
They just change it up every time.
CJ Entus. Now, I feel like that sign is trying to convey that his first name is, in fact, Best. So he's like, hi, my name is Best Zest, and I'll be teaching you Protoss versus Protoss today.
Yeah.
You can call me Mr. Zest. I haven't got my doctorate yet. But when I do, you can call me Dr. Zest.
Dr. Zest. Dr. herO would be a cool name as well.
Today, winner is herO. Well, we don't know that yet.
Stop spoiling it. Funnily enough, I wasn't going to say anything before it happened. Hold that thought. There's a baby in the audience. The parents are teaching him well. He's got to get on the StarCraft.
Yeah, get that sign open. Represent the team.
Yeah.
There's a KT fan over there, that baby.
Yeah,
youngest KT fan we've ever seen. So, let's talk about this matchup in general, what we may see going forward. Zest really likes his standard play, likes to get himself to the late game. Not really prone to taking very big risks or sudden moves, in series. Not really liking to proxy, not really liking to for example, suddenly go, DTs in the final game of a series. That's not really his style.
That's us.
Yeah. So I know that handwriting anywhere.
We've seen this guy make so many signs. He is like the sign king here, the next in Arena. Were you reading any of that?
It's something about how things are going to be different on the 7th time or something. I wasn't really reading it. I have no idea. Sejong shook her head like I'm totally off. I really don't know.
It's fine. We believe you.
That handwriting just mesmerizes me.
Funnily enough here, herO delays his second gas, and he's going to get out a faster core here. See what he decides to do with that. Of course, he will have less gas overall. So, and he does add a second gateway here, as does Zest, actually.
First scout comes out here for herO as well. Zest really likes to skip scouting. We've seen that a lot in his play. Just likes to have those extra minerals.
Yeah.
And, in game number 1, that's a pretty, reasonable thing to do. Against herO especially. herO's not also himself really a big proxier. He's not on Artos' list of known cheesers.
The lights just went out in Zest's booth.
He's playing in the dark. And you know what? He doesn't even mind.
Yeah, he's way too focused, and like we're in the middle of a crazy match right now. We can't really fix that, but sure, it'll get fixed soon.
It looks like he doesn't mind. He's not asked for a pause.
He looked up. He's like,
We'll keep you guys updated, even though the camera has disappeared.
Yeah. The players are still playing.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Cameraman's laughing because he thinks it's funny. But hold on. Oh, he requested to play in the dark. Possibly. I'm getting a brief update.
Wow,
I'm not actually sure if that's true, but I know that the lights were being turned off and on repeatedly earlier in his booth. Anyways, lights are back on now. Don't worry about it, guys. We're going into this. Mothership Core is coming in here now, trying to get a scout. Not getting anything done, though.
No, really nicely done here by Zest. Knew it was on the way. He's going to cut it off. It gets no scouting information. It's a bit out of place here. And look at this. Both players actually making 3 gates right now. And herO is going for the pylon first. I'm not sure if Zest actually got a probe out of his base and is going for some aggression. He does, actually.
He sees the Stalkers here, which is really important. But all these units are out of place here now. Is he really going to just recall? Going to cost him a lot of energy. He decides to go for a time warp.
And he's doing a lot of damage to that one Stalker. Not quite able to do enough, though. And look at this.
This is actually going to end up costing him big here. He's going to lose his Mothership Core. He's going to lose all of these Stalkers. Now with that forward warp in point for herO, he's going to be able to come back. This is a big misread by Zest. Either that, or he thought that his confident push would make herO turn around. Regardless of what he thought, he was wrong. And now these Stalkers are just going to walk right into the main base. So we're going to have a very quick end to game number 1 here, it looks like. But he's actually isolated himself a little bit here, so never mind.
herO getting way ahead of himself here and losing a bunch of Stalkers. And I think with that, actually, Zest is going to be fine. He's got a robotics facility behind this.
Had he just been a bit more patient, maybe he expected Zest to, try to warp in sentries and try to get up defensively. Oh!
Everybody collectively just went like, oh! There is a pylon in the main base, and herO's making a Nexus. He doesn't know about this.
What a fiery start to this best of 7. He's going to feel really confident taking out that pylon. He just doesn't know about the one in the main, but he does have a ton of energy on that Mothership Core. Sentries should be able to hold these Zealots out. Nice SimCity here.
Oh, really, really nice SimCity. These Zealots aren't going to do anything. They could possibly come through there, but we got 2 Sentries doing a lot of damage here. And Probe's fighting.
Well,
nice Micro doesn't lose anything.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Double Stargate going up here for Zest. We've seen this before with Phoenixes. It's become a bit of a wild card strategy, I think is probably the best way to describe it here in Korea.
I think he saw the Stargate of herO, and he wants to directly counter it, go for Phoenixes, get a big Phoenix force out, and just win the air battle. He's got control of the ground here, and he's trying to deny this Nexus while getting one of his own. And if he can get the air control as well as this, it's going to be a really good spot for Zest.
Yeah. Nexus is getting pretty chipped at here. It's nearly completed, though, and the second it does, he can drop the overcharge.
Yep.
First Phoenix is queued. The second one should be coming out here in just a second as that Nexus, as that Stargate finishes.
Yep,
It's only around the same time as the Nexus. So, double Phoenix play is, first of all, going to shut down this Oracle hard, but then he's going to be able to do some counter harassment. Looks like he's going to hide it, and then come out here now at the last possible second. Yep. 1, 2, 3 probes.
Yeah, not the best damage, but once he saw the Phoenixes, he knew he had to commit. And actually, Zest supply blocked here for a bit. That pylon is way late, but he will get some supply from the Nexus.
Consider also that the scout here not only reveals Phoenixes, but double Phoenixes. So he knows, okay, you're going on a big commitment. Now, I'm really curious to see how herO's going to respond to this. He starts things off with a Twilight Council. Most likely will try to go charge Zealot Archon from here, because Phoenixes, of course, really struggle to deal with that overwhelming amount of Zealots. And, of course, the Archons do great against Phoenixes.
Yeah. But after those first 2 Phoenixes, we got 3 here.
Yeah, only 3.
Yeah, looks like he stopped at that. And one thing I want to point out right now is look at the huge discrepancy in workers right now. herO is way ahead. He's up 10. Both of these guys having double Nexus.
he's been spending all of his chrono energy rather than on Phoenix's on his workers, and he's had his Nexus for so long compared to Zest. So that's where that discrepancy comes from. Even with the harassment here, he's still significantly ahead. And this is a bold move to make a second Oracle. This is something that Zest would never expect because it just goes against all logic. And he comes in here at the perfect moment when the army moves away. Let's see how many he can get. Only one, actually.
Yeah, just one. And with the Nexus Cannon, this will be pushed away. Oh, we'll get one more.
That was a weird choice to simply just sack that. I think he probably would have just been better off to save it.
Yeah.
A bit of nerves, perhaps.
I guess he just figured the Phoenixes would chase it down eventually.
Well, the scary thing for herO right now is he's in a very awkward place. He's very behind. He's when it comes to tech, he's building the wrong type of composition. He's getting Blink Stalkers. Well, there's already Immortals coming out here. Blink is usually only good against Phoenixes or in the early game. It's not going to do much for you at the 12-minute mark when both players have enough units out to not worry about that. So when he came in there with the Oracle, he's probably just like, oh, what? You stopped making Phoenixes? Now everything I'm doing is wrong, and you have a Bay coming up. Now you're going to have Colossi and have Blink?
Yeah. And he's in a weird position where he can't just, like, stop Blink when he's halfway through and, like, cancel it. He can't, like, destroy his Twilight Council and get everything back or anything.
Yeah, he can't go back in time. He's already made that choice. So he's going to have to try to make the best of it. Taking a third base and trying to use a Blink Stalkers to harass isn't a bad idea. He does have quite a few Stalkers out, too, right now. He's got, with this Warp in here, he's going to have 13. So this is no paltry group of Stalkers. This can actually get a lot done if it finds the right angle. Like killing these Phoenixes, for example, barely does not.
Somehow he didn't kill either Phoenix. They both got really low. And Nexus Cannon will shoot it away, though. Look at both of those Phoenixes, both so low. Did delay the push.
He might actually just try to attack directly. He's got a massive amount of Stalkers. There's only one Colossus out right now and one Immortal, if I'm not mistaken. Only 3 gates, though, so that's going to be tough to reinforce. But still.
Was there even an Immortal?
Maybe he canceled it. Yeah, he did. He doesn't have one. And now he's going to be able to go right on top of that Colossus. That's a fake Immortal right there. Blink's right on that Colossus. No Nexus Cannon because he used it earlier against the Oracle. Now he's got it. And he's just going to push his way through here. Even picks off the Observer.
And the gates are not done here for Zest, and there are so many Blink Stalkers in the main. Another Colossus pops out here, but it can just be blinked right on top of it, and it is.
This is a great decision here by herO, actually, to commit to the attack. Just go in here directly. Blink's now back and doing a lot of damage. Look at the army discrepancy between these two now. He's going to come in here and pick off some pylons, get the rest of this army, and then the Phoenix is just kind of sitting up here on the high ground looking silly. One of them goes down, in fact. And GG. Wow. Really did not expect him to do a frontal assault, but herO, a smarter man than me, knows, if you're trying to switch out of double Stargate into Colossi with a very late Nexus, there's no way you can have enough units to hold the attack. Yeah. And that's done off of only 3 gates.
That was actually such a strong attack, just like you said, like such a good idea. He knew, like you said, like before too many Colossi were out, before he had too many units, he would just be able to overrun him with a blink. So nicely done here by herO. He takes game number 1. And just like that stat we were looking at a little bit earlier, or at least talking about, when you win the first set, it's like 70% that you're going to win the whole thing.
Yeah, that's actually so important. I talked about this on an episode of You Bet because in GSL